That's part of it. Yeah. Oh, no. My dog's not to go back. Yeah. That's part of it. It's going to be the hardest on the cats, I think, than anything else.
But Dave always says they're not ready to
I know, right?
like if this is really happening, then they would break
Good though.
like July, and then it would be ready like this year.
9 and 8 a.m. 3:30. All goes well, right? We're out.
Fingers are crossed.
Bison City here. I think it's just Bison is the Wyoming. I
starting lineup for the Fremont Moo. Batting first, playing center field, number 7, Zane Scancy. Batting second, second baseman, number 2, Cannon Dodge. Batting third, playing third base, number 25, Nico Ascoqueta. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 4, Bentley Bohout. Batting fifth, playing the catcher, number 23, Ian Graff. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, number 30, Austin Baskin.
Thank you.
Batting seventh, playing left field, number 26, Zeth Samoya. Batting eighth,
Come on.
the DH, number 15, Nick Balt. Batting ninth, playing right field, number 1, Evan Rowe. And pitching for Fremont Moo, Marco Ivana. And here's the starting lineup for our Gem City Bison. Playing center field, number 15, Derek Wood. Batting second, playing left field, number 1, Tyler Bradley. Batting third, playing first base, number 26, Nico Penzanella. Batting fourth, the DH tonight, number 33, Mitch Tolp. Batting fifth, playing third base, number 21, Keegan Schultz. Batting sixth, their second baseman, number 25, Randy Stoltz. Batting seventh, the catcher tonight, number 10, Luke Bannister. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 9, Quinn McCafferty. And batting ninth, number 6, the right fielder, Justice Panton. Pitcher tonight, Ryan Chamberlain. Would everybody rise and move their cuts to the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rockets ran clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great, Kathleen, you guys so much.
Bring that smoke, let's go.
And throwing out the first pitch will be the women's basketball head coach, Heather Hazel.
Welcome into legendary Cowboy Field here in beautiful Laramie, Wyoming for a bit of a stormy day here. We're under a bit of a weather delay, but nevertheless, we are here for Bison versus Moo. Thank you to everybody waiting and everything like that. Because of the weather, we had a couple of lightning strikes in the area, but we're about ready to play ball. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Fremont Moo batting first, obviously, as they are the away team. Batting first, the center fielder, number 7, Zane Scansey. The second baseman, number 2, Cannon Dodge. The third baseman, number 25, Nico Azpilcueta. The first baseman, number 4, Bentley Bokout. The catcher, wearing number 23, Ian Graff. The shortstop, wearing number 30, Austin Baskin. The left fielder, wearing number 26, Zek Samayoa. The designated hitter, wearing number 15, Nick Balk. And the right fielder, wearing number 1, Evan Rose. Starting on the mound for your Gem City Bison, Ryan Chamberlain from Laramie, Wyoming. Goes to school at the University of Mary. So we're about set to get things underway here on a kind of gloomy day in Laramie, but the sun is starting to shine out as that first pitch is going to be lifted into left field. Bradley and Wood chasing it, and Bradley will bring it down for out number 1. First pitch at 4:30 in the afternoon, originally slated for 4:05, so not too bad of a delay as we get started here this afternoon with 1 out already on the board. And that'll bring up number 2, Cannon Dodge, the second baseman. As I said, the junior from Stephen F. Austin. He steps in the right-handed batter's box, and the first pitch of that at-bat going to be in there for strike number 1. No balls and 1 strike. It's the count with 1 out and nobody on base for Dodge. Dodge also from Corinco, Louisiana. Is his hometown, as that one's going to hit on the outside edge for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. From Chamberlain, so far on the year, 0 for 1 with an 11.88 ERA. Has started 3 games, appeared in 5, as that one's going to be swung on and missed for strike number 3. So a quick 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. A fly out to left field and now a strikeout, and that'll bring up number 25, Nico Azpilcueta. Chamberlain on the mound with 16.2 innings pitched, 24 runs given up, 32 hits given up, and 17 strikeouts and 10 walks, as that one's going to be picked up by McCafferty, slung over to first. The throw will not be in time, but Nico Pezzanella will have an excellent block to make sure it doesn't get past him. Taking a look at the fielding lineup, obviously have Chamberlain on the mound, Bannister behind the plate, Pezzanella over at first, Stoltz at second, McCafferty at short, Schultz at third, Bradley in left, Wood in center, and Panton playing a different position today over in right. So with the runner on first base and 2 outs on the board, the first pitch of this at-bat comes across for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs and nobody on base for Bokout, the junior from Long Island, originally from Pittsburgh, Kansas. Here's the pitch from Chamberlain, and that'll miss up high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes is the count. Thank you to everybody joining us here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. Currently at 38 strong already, and it's just the top of the first inning. So thank you guys for all of your patronage of the Gem City Bison, as that one's going to come across for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner on first. Would like to say thank you to A.D. Martin Lumber and Lariat Realty LLC for being proud sponsors of the Bison. Here's the pitch from Chamberlain. A swing going to be held by Bokout. However, the pitch was right in the strike zone for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to make things even here in the Gem City of Wyoming. Chamberlain comes set and fires that in there. That's Gonna miss for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes for a full count now to Bokout. Here for the Moo, they are wearing their alternate orange uniforms with purple numerals and gray pants with orange and purple piping. Chamberlain looks back at first, now comes set on the mound. Kicks and fires the pitch, and that'll miss outside for ball 4. So a single and a walk will have runners on first and second, and that will bring up Ian Graff. Graff, the catcher today, wearing number 23, will step in the right-handed batter's box to face the righty on the mound. 2 outs, runners on first and second. As Chamberlain comes set, fires the pitch, and that's going to miss inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs to the freshman from Dixie State. Originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. Chamberlain on the mound. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 1. 1-1 is the count. Now with 2 outs. Steps in the batter's box. 2 runners on base here in the top of the first, but 2 outs also as Chamberlain will step off and force Azpilicueta and Bokout back to their bags. Graff playing catcher today. Yesterday, I do believe he played first base, as that one's going to be swung on into center field. That'll be a nice base hit as Azpilicueta is going to be waved around and in for the first run of the game. 1-0 is the score as the runners will stay at second and first. However, Azpilicueta will come in to score. Bokout will be at second and Graff at first. So 1-0 is the score with 2 outs and 2 runners on base for Austin Baskin stepping in the shortstop. First pitch going to be fouled backwards for strike 1. Baskin is a sophomore from Memphis. As he steps back into the box to face the 0-1. A lot of right-handed hitters for the Moo so far today in this lineup. Here's the 0-1. As that'll hit in the zone for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Chamberlain looking back at second, kicks and fires. That's going to be swung on and fouled off towards the right for a premier bone and joint foul ball near the Moo dugout. So he steps back in, staying alive with an 0-2 count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that's going to hit in there for strike number 3, and that will end the inning. 3 outs, but only 1 run comes across for the Moo. We will head to the bottom of the first here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network right after this. One, two, three, due up for the Bison. We'll start off with the lineup for Gem City. The center fielder, number 15, Derek Wood. The right fielder, the left fielder, number 1, Tyler Bradley. The first baseman, number 26, Nico Pezzanella. The DH, number 33, Mitchell Tolk. The third baseman, number 21, Keegan Schultz. The second baseman, wearing number 25, Randy Stoltz, is at first pitch. Also going to be swung on as it was in the top of the first inning. And that will turn one out after Derek Wood will ground out to second base. After Stoltz, it's going to be the catcher, number 10, Luke Bannister, the shortstop, number 9, Quinn McCafferty, and the right fielder, number 6, Justice Panton. Here's the first pitch of this at bat, and that's going to hit in there for strike one. So Derek Wood, already having been up, came across and grounded out to second base. And that second pitch will miss for ball one. Tyler Bradley playing left field today for the Bison, an excellent outfielder. As the pitch comes across from Ibarra, that's going to be swung on and lifted into left field and brought down by Samayoa for out number 2. Starting on the mound for the Fremont Moo, number 20, Marco Ibarra, 2-0 on the season with a 2.81 ERA, 3 games started and 3 appearances, 16 innings pitched, 5 runs, 18 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 8 walks. So Nico Pezzanella will step up to bat now, playing first base today for the Bison, with 2 outs and nobody on base. Here's the pitch from Ibarra. That'll be lined into right center field. That's hit right in the gap. Pezzanella will round first as the ball will go all the way to the wall, and Pezzanella will pump his brakes at second base. So he'll have a double to start things off for him today, as that will bring up number 33, the designated hitter, Mitchell Tolk. As he steps in, going to recap a little bit. Derek Wood rounding out to second base. Tyler Bradley flying out to left field for the second out, but then Nico Pezzanella hitting a gapper right into right center for a double. As Mitchell Tolk will step in. Ibarra on the mound. Here's the first pitch from him, and that's going to be swung on into right field. Rowe under it, following it, almost falling, but that'll be brought down for out number 3. So we head to the top of the second inning, 1-0 still the score. Fremont Moo up over the Gem City Bison. We will be back here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network right after this.
Left is Fremont Moo.
Samayoa, Balk, and Rowe to start things off here in the top of the second inning as the first pitch comes across. That will be for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Samayoa, from Golden West College, a freshman there last year, as that one's going to be in there inside for ball number 2. 1-0 is the score. The Fremont Moo over the Gem City Bison as 1 run was pushed across off of a single from Ian Graff in the top of the first inning, as that one will be fouled off towards the right for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball and for strike 1. Want to go ahead and thank Aspen Family Chiropractic, Grand Avenue Urgent Care, Laramie GM Auto Center, and Drake Jeffries for being excellent contributors to the Gem City Bison. That one's going to be lifted into left center field, as Samayoa will come around second and stop right there. So the Moo will have a runner on second after the double from Samayoa, and that will bring up number 15, Nick Balk. So Balk will stand in. Once again, another right-handed hitter for the Fremont Moo, as he has a runner on second and no outs on the board. Balk steps in. Here's the pitch from Chamberlain, and that'll be down in the dirt for what would have been a ball, but he swung on it. So that'll move the count to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, no outs with runner on second for the freshman from Skyline College. Here's the 0-1 from Chamberlain. That'll be right in there. No problem. Pitcher perfect strike for strike 2. 0-2 is the count. Balk originally from Millbrae, California. The 0-2 from Chamberlain, and that one will be swung on, and it'll be down in the dirt, and that will be another strikeout for Chamberlain for out number 1. So far, 2 strikeouts on the day for Chamberlain as we head to the bottom of the order in Evan Rowe, the right fielder, wearing number 1. He steps in, another righty on this Fremont Moo lineup. He stands in with 1 out on the board and a runner on second. The Moo already lead it 1-0 in the top of the second. Chamberlain looks back a second, now fires the pitch in and down for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Rowe, a sophomore from Beulah, originally from California, over in Upland. 1 ball, no strikes, with 1 out and a runner on second for Rowe. Here's the pitch from Chamberlain, and that's in there for strike 1. 1-1 is the count. That'll put 1s across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Chamberlain on the mound, the native of Laramie, the beautiful Gem City. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on right to Pezzanella. He can't quite grab it, but the throw over to first will not be in time. So Evan Rowe showing off his speed to reach first in time off of the error from Pezzanella. So now runners will be on the corners for the Bison. For the Moo, as Fremont leads at 1-0 with 1 out on the board. The first pitch of this at-bat, going to miss down low for ball 1 to the leadoff man, Zane Scansey. Scansey, a sophomore from Utah, originally from Big Harbor, Washington. Pickoff to attempt over to first, not going to be in time. So the count will remain the same. The number of outs will remain the same. Everything will remain the same. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out with runners on first and third for the Moo. Last night, Scansey was 1 for 4. As that pitch will come across for ball 2. 1 hit out of 4 at bats. Chamberlain on the mound for the Bison as he once again checks the runner at first. Chamberlain, the last time he was out was just yesterday versus this same Fremont Moo team. He went for 1 inning and only allowed 1 hit, but obviously they took him out so he could start today, as that one's going to be hit into right field over the head of everybody over there, and that will hit in the wall. Another run will come across to score. Make that 2, and a runner will come into third off of the triple from Scansey. So showing off his power by hitting it really over the head of both Panton and Wood, as I don't think either of them could have gotten there on that one. As 2 more runs come across to score for the Moo. And that will make it 3-0 in favor of Fremont. 1 out on the board, runner on third now for Cannon Dodge, as that one's going to be in there for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Dodge from Stephen F. Austin. Last night was 1 for 5. Here's the pitch. That'll miss for ball 1. He also had a run by himself. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Chamberlain comes set and fires the pitch. And that'll be in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. For the Moo. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be lifted into right center field. They're just hitting the gaps all over the place today, as Bradley will pick it up and get it into the cutoff man. The runner will slip while trying to turn around to second. So the score will move to 4-0, and a runner will stand in on second for Azpilcueta. Scansey, the runner, coming in for the Moo, as Dodge will stand in at second off of that double. So a lot of extra base hits already today, as there were 2 singles in the top of the first, but now there's been 2 doubles and a triple here in the top of the second. 1 out, runner on second. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on and missed for strike 1. The ball player from St. Mary's. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on all as well for strike 2. 0-2 is the count to Azpilcueta, who last night was 3 for 5 with 5 at-bats, 4 runs, 3 RBIs, and 1 strikeout. So here's the pitch, and that one's going to be fouled off for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. So the count will remain the same at no balls and 2 strikes. As Azpilcueta steps back in, the righty facing the righty on the mound for the 0-2 pitch. Chamberlain comes set and looks back at second and fires it in there. That's going to be lined into center field, and it'll bounce in front of Wood. The throw inside will not prevent anything from happening, and so runners will be on the corners. Once again, as Azpilcueta will get a single. So that'll bring up Bentley Bocout from Long Island. Stands in with 1 out and runners on first and third. Chamberlain standing tall on the mound, fires the pitch. That'll be inside, for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out for Bocout, as the time's going to be called by Bannister as he comes and has a little talk with Chamberlain on the mound. One ball, no strikes is the count with one out and runners on first and third. Currently the Fremont Moo lead it 4-0 after one run being pushed across in the top of the first and 3 already in the top of the second. So once again, one out on the board for Bokout as he steps back in. One ball, no strikes is the count. Here's the pitch from Chamberlain, and that'll be lined into center field. Once again, dropping in front of Wood as the score will move to 5-0 with runners standing in on second and third as the runner tagged up from third and made it home. So Azpilicueta will advance in Bokout. We'll have another base hit in this inning. That'll bring up Ian Graff, the catcher for today. With one out and runners on first and second, that pitch going to miss for ball one. 1-0 is the count with one out. Chamberlain on the mound. Comes set, looks back at second. Now at home, back at second once again. Kicks and fires it in. That's going to be swung on and missed for strike one. Actually, that will be fouled off, but still it'll be strike one. One ball, one strike, one out with ones all across the board here for Graff. Graff last night was 2 for 4 with 3 runs, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. As that pitch will be in there. The throw to first will not be in time. As Bokout will get back in time. 2-1 is the count. The Moo lead at 5-0 in the top of the second. Chamberlain fires the pitch. That'll miss down low as the held swing from Graff will not go around. So that'll move to 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners still standing on first and second in Bokout and Azpilicueta respectively. Graff steps back in from Dixie State with his bat over his shoulder. Chamberlain with the pitch. That's going to be grounded down the third base line. That'll go out for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Two-two is the count as Chamberlain comes set on the mound. That pitch will be fired in there, and another gapper into left center. That'll push one more run across to make the score 6-0. And now assistant coach John Grigg will come out to talk to Chamberlain and his infield as the time is called, and the bases will be loaded. So Ryan Chamberlain's day will be done, and we'll have a new pitcher coming out of the bullpen. We'll tell you more about it right here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network when we come back. 6-0 is the score in the top of the second. Chamberlain's final line and the new pitcher coming up right after this.
Pitching for your Gem City Bison, number 8, TJ Provenzano.
Yeah.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like, my life be like, times like these, everything I'm saying, yeah. Lord, you can see the police, my life be like, you can bring it up, so I'm not straight, yeah. I'm sacrificing.
So TJ Provenzano comes on to pitch for your Gem City Bison. He has runners on second and third with a 6-0 lead for the Moo as that first pitch going to come across for strike number 1. 0-1 is the count to from Provenzano, as the final line from Chamberlain will give it to you after this pitch. 0-1, that's going to be swung on and flown into right field foul territory as Panton can't quite get to it in time. He slid to try to get it, but that'll drop for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball and strike 2. So Chamberlain went for 1.1 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs. 5 of them were earned with a walk, 3 strikeouts on 14 batters faced. So Baskin will step in once again. Austin Baskin, the shortstop for the Moo. Last night was 0 for 6 with 1 strikeout. A lot of at-bats for Baskin last night, as that one's going to be fouled directly back. So the count will remain the same at 0-2 off that Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 out, runners on second and third. Taking a look at Provenzano, originally from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, goes to school at Francis Marion. As that pitch will come across for ball 1 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last time Provenzano was out on the mound, he pitched .1 innings, had 2 hits with 3 runs, and all 3 of them were earned. Here's the 1-2, and that one will be swung on and missed for strike 3. That'll put 2 outs on the board and another strikeout in this game for the Gem City Bison.
Now go out for Fremont Moo, number 26.
As that will bring up Zek Samayoa, the left fielder wearing number 26. Getting his second at bat and second at bat of this inning, as the Moo have officially batted around. Is that pitch going to be swung on, fouled off towards the right for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball and strike 1. Earlier on in this inning, Samayoa doubled and then eventually came around to score 1 of the 5 runs that have came this inning. Provenzano on the mound. Here's the 0-1. And that'll be swung on, fouled back technically for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball for 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with runners on second and third. Here in the top of the 5th, 5 runs pushed across this inning. As that one's going to be outside for ball 1. 1-2 is the count. Samayoa last night was 3 for 5 with 2 runs, 5 RBIs, and 1 walk. Provenzano standing on the mound with a 1-2 count versus Samayoa. He kicks and fires. That one's going to be lifted high into shallow right field. Stoltz tracking it and bringing it down for out number 3. 6-0 is the score. The Fremont Moo up over the Gem City Bison. We will head to the bottom of the second here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. The third baseman, Keegan Schultz, will step up to bat for the Gem City Bison here in the bottom of the second inning. 6-0 is the score. The Bison trailing the Moo as they look to hopefully get some runs across the board in this bottom of the second. Here's the first pitch of this inning as that'll miss way outside, and it'll go back to the backstop for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes with no outs and nobody on base, obviously, as this is the leadoff man. Keegan Schultz from Nichols State, originally from the Colony, Texas. Here's the 1-0 as that one's going to be hit on, and actually they're going to go ahead and call that ball. 2 balls, no strikes is the count as he steps back in the box. Here's the pitch from Ibarra, and that one will miss, putting him in a very friendly. Actually, they're going to go ahead and correct that. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on, foul back and to the right for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Want to take this time to thank Arrowhead Candy LLC and Michael Luby. 2 balls, 2 strikes to make things even on the mound. On the board. Here's the pitch, and that's once again going to be swung on, foul towards the right for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 2-2 is the count. Cooper Hack will bring all the extra balls out to the umpire. Two balls, 2 strikes as Ibarra gets a new ball, turns around, and climbs back up the mound. The pitch going to be inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count pitch coming from Ibarra, as that's going to be in there for strike 3. So that will set down Keegan Schultz and bring up Randy Stoltz. 1 out on the board for Stoltz, nobody on base as he steps in. Righty versus righty once again. Righty on the mound, righty in the box with 1 out and nobody on base for Stoltz. Here's the pitch, and that's going to get in there on the outside edge for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike as he steps in. 5 runs being pushed across in this top of the second, in the top of the second, to make the score 6-0. The Moo have 6 runs off of 8 hits, while the Bison have no runs off of 1 hit. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count, with Ibarra standing on the mound. Comes set, kicks and fires, and that one's going to be fouled back for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes is now the count. Ibarra on the mound, Stoltz in the box. Here's the 1-2, as that one will be swung on and missed for another strikeout for Ibarra. That's his second of the game, second in a row, to be honest. As that will bring up Luke Bannister, the catcher for the Bison. He steps in with 2 outs on the board and nobody on base. Ibarra standing on the mound as he deals the first pitch of this at-bat right in the middle for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Bannister from Temple Community College, originally from Hutto, Texas. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to miss up for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner nowhere on the bases. That one's going to be swung on and lined into right center field. That'll be picked up by Scansey, but Bannister will get the second hit of the day for the Bison, as that'll bring up the shortstop, Quinn McCafferty. He stands in with 2 outs and a runner on first. Takes a practice swing outside of the box and steps in. 2 outs, runner on first, as he looks to do some damage here in the bottom of the second, backed up against the wall. Here's the first pitch. That one's going to be fired into left field. That one's back deep, and that'll be caught on the warning track by Samayoa. So that'll be out number 3, and that will send us to the third inning. 6-0 still the score. We'll be back on the Gem City Bison Digital Network right after this little activity.
The Bonds Brewery Dizzy Bat Challenge.
Get together. Tighten up.
Uh-oh. Boys are in trouble.
Go, Pedro. Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Great race, guys.
Frat guys from that, I mean, drove out on. My life be like, ooh, yeah, ooh. My life be like, ooh, yeah, ooh. My life be like, my life be like,
Nick Balk stepping up to bat for the Fremont Moo, getting his second at-bat of the day. He steps in with Provenzano on the mound, coming in relief for Ryan Chamberlain. So that one's going to be thrown in there for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, with obviously no outs and nobody on base. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Provenzano. That'll be fouled off towards the right for a premier bone and joint foul ball. That'll even things up at 1-1. Want to say thank you to Kevin Evans and Motive Coffee Company for being proud supporters of the Gem City Bison. Here's the 1-1, and that's going to hit him as he'll take his walk down to first. Doesn't look like he's in any real pain, and so he'll stand in on first, and that'll bring up the bottom of the order, Evan Rowe. From Biola, he steps in, the righty hitter. No balls, no strikes, no outs, as a pickoff attempt to first will not be successful, as Provenzano will go back on top of the mound. He comes set and fires the first pitch in there, and that'll be swung on foul towards the right for strike number 1. That premier bone and joint foul ball will give us some time to say that Rowe was 1 for 5 last night with 1 RBI. He stands in with a runner on first and no outs on the board. Here's the pitch, and that's going to reach right in there for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count after a ball and a foul ball. He stands in. The last time he was up, he reached on an error from Pezzanella, as that one will be popped up to the right side foul territory, and Pezzanella will make up for that mistake in the bottom of the second with a pop fly out for out number 1. So the runner still stands on first, but this time there will be 1 out as Zane Scansey will come up to bat from Utah. 1 out and a runner on first for Scansey. Pickoff attempt to first from Provenzano. That's once again not successful. So everything will stay the same. Here's the pitch from Provenzano in there for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike. Scansey so far today is 1 for 2 in the top of the first inning. He flew out to left field. And in the top of the second, he tripled and then eventually scored. That pitch going to miss outside and down for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Excellent athleticism by Bannister to make sure that ball doesn't get by him. Here's the 1-1, and that'll be swung on, fouled towards the right for another premier bone and joint foul ball from Scansey. And that'll move the count to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on first. The 1-2, a pickoff attempt over to first, not successful. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. The runner is going to go ahead and steal second, but that'll put 2 outs on the board for the Moo. So Balk will be standing in at second off of the stolen base, as the throw was not in time from Bannister. So now Cannon Dodge will step in from Stephen F. Austin.
Guys, you couldn't have just called me. You couldn't have followed me. Stay there, Charlie.
2 outs. As Provenzano will fire that in there for strike number 1. No balls and 1 strike to Dodge, who so far today 1 for 2 as well, with a strikeout in the first inning for the second out of that inning, and then he doubled and eventually scored off of the Azpilicueta single. That ball going to miss to make the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The runner on second. Provenzano comes set, looks back at second and fires in, and that'll miss up high for ball 2. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. As I said earlier, Dodge last night was 1 for 5 with a run. Provenzano on the mound, comes set. Looking back at second and fires that 2-1 in there, and that'll miss and make it 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 is the count as Provenzano stands in once again, as does Dodge. Here's the pitch, and that'll miss up high and inside for ball 4. That'll send him walking and put runners on first and second for Azpilicueta, the third baseman from St. Mary's. He walks around to the other side as he is hitting righty. He stands in with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Provenzano back on the mound, looking to get out of this top of the third. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on and hit into right field So one more run will come across to score. 7-0 is the score off of 9 hits. The runners will stay at first and second. So Balk will score from second. That single will advance Dodge to second and Azpilicueta to first. And so that will bring up Bentley Bokout from Long Island. He steps in, the left-handed batter in this Fremont Moo lineup. Two outs, runners on first and second. 7-0 lead now as that pitch will miss outside for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Provenzano looking back and fires the pitch in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bokout in his 3rd at-bat of the day. Walked in the first inning and got stranded at second, and then singled in the 2nd inning and then got stranded at 3rd. Here's the 1-1, and that one's going to miss out for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs with the runner on first and second. Bokout standing in last night, 3 for 5 with 1 run. The junior from Long Island. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on into center field. Wood chasing it back, and that one's going to be a little bit too high for him to get to. The throw into the cutoff man will keep the batter at second, but that will force Dodge and Azpilicueta to come in and score from second and first respectively. So 2 more runs will come across the board for the Moo, making this a 9-0 ball game off of that RBI double from Bokout. And that'll bring up Ian Graff from Dixie State. As he steps into the left-handed box, Provenzano on the mound, looks back at second, now at home, and kicks and fires in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, with a runner just on second now for the Moo. 9-0, still the score for 10 hits, as Provenzano will step off and have Bokout go back to second base. Provenzano comes set and fires it into Graff, and that one's going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 is the count, 1 strike away from the 3rd out of this 3rd inning. Graff so far today has singled twice. Once he got stranded at first, and the second time he made it to second, but then got stranded there as well. The 0-2. Going to miss high and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the freshman. 2 for 4, 3 runs, 1 RBI, and 1 walk last night. Provenzano comes set, kicks and fires it home, and that'll miss up high for ball 2. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. A runner on second. Provenzano fires the 2-2 in there. That'll be swung on foul towards the right for a premier bone and joint foul ball as Graff keeps battling. 2-2 still the count with runner on second with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3 and out 3. We head to the top of the 4th here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back here right after this.
Not when they're playing the music.
Justice Panton will step in for the Gem City Bison, getting his first at-bat of the day here in the bottom of the third inning. As the Bison trail it 9-0 versus the Moo. That first pitch is going to be swung on into left field foul territory. And that's going to be brought down for out number one. Excellent display of athleticism from Samayoa, as Panton will be set down off of that fly ball and bring up the leadoff man, number 15, Derek Wood.
Did you hear that, Herb?
From George Mason, originally, from Reedley, California. Here's the first pitch, and that one's going to hit on the outside down corner for strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. I want to take this time to thank Kevin Evans and Motive Coffee Company, as that one's going to be swung on into right field and caught by Rowe for a quick out number 2. So 2 quick outs and 2 fly outs to opposite sides of the field. That will bring up Tyler Bradley. T-Brad steps in, the left fielder for the Bison today. He stands in with 2 outs and nobody on base for the Bison. Ibarra still on the mound and fires that one in there. That'll be swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs and nobody on base for Bradley. Last night he was 3 for 5 with 2 runs. As here's the pitch, and that'll come in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. He also had 1 RBI and 1 walk last night against this same Fremont Moo team. Here's the 0-2, and that'll be swung on, chopped for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. So the count will remain the same at 0-2. In his first at-bat, Bradley flew out to left field for the second out in the first inning. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss down and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count. Ibarra comes set and fires it, and that's going to be fouled towards the left for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Once again, the count will remain the same at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs with nobody on base for the Bison. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to be hit, chopped, and picked up by Dodge. Sent over to Bokout at first for out number 3. And we will head to the 4th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. 9-0 still the score. We'll be back right after this.
All right, everybody get ready for the Premier Bone and Joint Race the Bison Challenge.
My life be like,
And when he was in high school, he played basketball. And Olivia's mom, who was also a D1 women's basketball player, and was just sick that Olivia didn't go to Montana State, but then happy she came here.
contestants
She was
first
a
one to get to
coach
their side
against the team
wins.
he played on. So
5,
he knows every
4,
member.
3, 2, 1,
They're
go!
both going to Division II school in Oregon and Salem. They've been in Northern California.
Low key, stay candid. Reflected all the things I try my hand at. Search for the equation to persuasions I'm used to. Find a comfort in the zone and obstacles I get used to. I'm out in this foreign land. Spinning in muscle, be gritting this high octane. This road spot when I came. Rolling down the hills just like a castle. The circle by my body like the most around the castle. Stay afloat, catch a second wind. Clean in the air I breathe. Teary-eyed nose running, wipe the snot on my sleeve. I'm falling on the same to be all that I need. Please forgive me, I'm the heavy, happy
Guys,
Austin Baskin will step in for the Fremont Moo here in the top of the 4th inning. They lead at 9-0 over the Gem City Bison. That first pitch going to be in there for strike 1 from TJ Provenzano, still on the mound, coming in for Ryan Chamberlain in relief. Baskin with the 0-1 count. That one is going to be chopped foul to the left side for strike 2. I want to thank Chili's and the Blue Mountain Bookstore for being proud sponsors of the Gem City Bison. So far, Baskin is 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts for the 3rd and 2nd out of the innings, respectively. That one's going to be flown backwards for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 0-2 is the count as he steps back in. 0 for 6 last night with 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch from Provenzano, and that'll be hit straight to McCafferty. A little spin around, a shuffle to Pezzanella on first for out number 1.
Number 26, Zach Samoya is going to be our beer batter of the game. If Zach Samoya strikes out, half-price beer. Everybody get on there.
So Zach Samoya will come up to bat now, the left fielder, number 26, with 1 out, nobody on base. Samoya standing in with 1 out, nobody on base. That one's going to be hit straight to second base, and Stoltz is going to not be able to grab it in time as it bounced off of his glove, so he'll step on to first base.
Number 15, Nick Ball.
As he gets another hit for the Fremont Moo. 11 hits now for the Moo, 9 runs pushed across, and that'll bring up designated hitter Nick Balk from Skyline College. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss down low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out and a runner on first. Provenzano comes set, kicks and fires the pitch in there. That's going to be lined into right center field. Stoltz almost had it, had a great jump on it, but the throw to the cutoff man in McCafferty will stop Samayoa from advancing anymore, but Nick Balk will also get a hit. And so runners will stand in at second and first with 1 out on the board, and that will bring up the bottom of the order, Evan Rowe from Biola. Reached on an error in his first at-bat, and the second one he popped out to the same person that made that error in Nico Pezzanella, as that one's going to be hit and grounded into left field, a hard grounder, as Bradley will pick it up and get it back in. The bases will be loaded, though, for the leadoff man, Zane Scansey. So 3 straight singles will bring up this situation as Scansey will step in from Utah. Takes a practice swing outside of the box. He stands in with 1 out. The base is loaded. Here's the pitch from Provenzano, and that'll be inside for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out. He steps in. 1 for 3 on the day, flew out to left field in his first at-bat. In the second one, he tripled and came to score, and in the third one, he struck out. That one is going to be a single into left field once again, and the Moo have now officially put a 10 spot up on the Bison, as the bases will remain loaded as Samayoa comes in to score. Balk will advance to third, Rowe to second, and Scansey to first off of the 4th straight single. So that'll bring up Cannon Dodge now from Stephen F. Austin University. He stands in with 1 out and runners on first, second, and third. Provenzano comes set, kicks and deals inside for strike 1. That'll hit on the down outside edge of the strike zone. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out so far today. Dodge struck out in his first at-bat. In his second one, he doubled and came around to score, as that one's going to be lined into right field. Panton will pick it up and send it back in. Only 1 more run will score, but 1 more run is honestly enough for this Bison team, as the bases will remain loaded with 1 out on the board, as assistant coach John Grigg will come have a meeting with the catcher, well, practically the whole infield, as he'll go ahead and take the ball from Provenzano, and his day is done. So we'll have another pitching change here in the top of the 4th. We'll have more about the new pitcher and Provenzano's final line when we come back here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network.
Now pitching for the Bison, number 38, Mitch Winter.
Mitch Winter on to pitch for the Gem City Bison. His first pitch is going to miss for ball number 1. He steps into a situation with his back against the wall. Bases loaded with only 1 out on the board, as here comes the 1-0. So that'll be swung on and fouled off for a premier bone and joint foul ball. Nico Azpilcueta stepping up to bat, who last night was 3 for 5 and had 4 runs and 3 RBIs, only had 1 strikeout. So Winter stands in as that one's going to come across for strike 2, and TJ Provenzano's night is done. He went 2 innings with 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts on 15 batters faced, as that one's going to be hit into right field foul territory for another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Winter so far this year is 0 for 1 with a 3.37 ERA. Has appeared in 3 games, started none. It's 5.1 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 4 hits. So he stands in, the new rock toter for the Bison, as that one's once again fouled off for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 11-0 in the top of the 4th inning here in this Independence League game, interdivisional game between the Gem City Bison and the Fremont Moo, as that one's going to be hit into deep center field. Wood finding it, stepping into it with the crow hop, and throws it in to try and get the runner out at third, but that will not be the case, as the runner from third will come in to score. That's Balk. Rowe will advance to third and Scansey to second, as Dodge flew out to center field. So that'll be the second out of the inning, as now stepping in it's going to be Bentley Bokout. Excuse me, that was Azpilcueta that singled. Flew out to center field, as the count moves quickly to an even 1-1 with runners on second and third. That one will be swung on and fouled backwards, and that'll come into the stands out of play. As Bannister chasing it backwards, will not be able to get to it. That'll move the count to 1-2 off that Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 2 outs on the board, runners on second and third with a 1-2 count now for Bokout, as that one's going to be grounded to McCafferty, and he will not be able to grab it off the bad hop. And so one more run will come across to score off of what they're going to score in E6. So Bokout will stand in at first, as Rowe came in to score. 13-0 is the score off of 15 hits and no errors for the Moo, as now they have runners on the corners. Bokout at first and Dodge at third. Here's the 2 outs pitch, and that's going to be in there for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So Winter checks the runner at first, and that one going to be fouled off backwards for Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike will be the count. 1-1. As Graff will step back in there, the freshman from Dixie State. As that pitch will be swung on and foul tipped once again, but still will count as strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Graff, who singled twice and struck out once. Those were his 3 at-bats so far, this being his 4th. Winter comes set, fires it in there for the 1-2, and that's going to miss for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Graff. Last night went 2 for 4 with 3 runs, an RBI, and a walk. So that one's going to be swung on and fouled back for another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 2-2 still the count with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. That's going to be swung on high into right center field as Wood will come in and grab it for out number 3. So 13-0 will be the score. No more runs pushed across. And Winter comes in and gets us out of that inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network right after this. Nico Pezzanello, the first baseman, to start things off for the Gem City Bison here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 run pushed across in the first, 5 runs pushed across in the second, 3 runs pushed across in the third, and 4 runs in the 4th for the Fremont Moo. That gets us to this total 13-0 here in the bottom of the 4th, as that first pitch is going to be chopped foul for a premier bone and joint foul ball towards the right side for Pezzanello from Northern State. Would like to thank Quality IV Care and H&R Block, proud supporters of the Gem City Bison. Ibarra is still on the mound for the Fremont Moo, as that one's going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. Pezzanello last night was 0 for 2. Earlier on today in the first inning, he doubled, but then got stranded off of the 3rd out, fly out to right. Here's the 0-2 from Ibarra, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. That'll put 1 out on the board and bring up Mitchell Tolk, a designated hitter, here in the 4th inning. He's wearing number 33, and he steps in as we have both Mitches now in the game, as Mitch Winter came into pitch last half inning. That first pitch going to be in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike with 1 out. Nobody on base for the Bison. Here's the pitch from Ibarra. The check swing will be held, and that'll miss for ball 1 to even things up at 1-1. Tolk last night was 0 for 2 with 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-1 from Ibarra. And that's going to hit in for ball 2. 2-1 is the count, as Tolk earlier on today flew out to right field for the 3rd out in the 1st inning. Here's the 2-1, and that one's going to be chopped, picked up by Baskin, and thrown over to Bookout on first for out number 2. So 2 quick outs will bring up Keegan Schultz, the third baseman, wearing number 21, the Texas Cowboy, will step in from Nichols State. Steps out of the box, takes a practice swing, and steps back in. Ibarra and the Fremont Moo defense putting on a show here today. No runs put across on only 2 hits in this by this bottom of the 4th inning. That first pitch going to be in there for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike is the count. Here's the pitch from Ibarra, and that one's going to be fouled towards the left side. The premier bone and joint foul ball will bring up strike number 2. 0-2 is the count as Schultz stands in once again. The righty hitter facing the righty on the mound. Here in what has turned into a beautiful day here in Laramie, Wyoming, as that one's going to be fouled off once again for a premier bone and joint foul ball. Had a little bit of rain threatening this game earlier on today. Had to push it back about a half hour. But things have seemed to calm down. There's hardly any wind here, and it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball. Here's the 0-2 from Ibarra, and that's going to be swung on and picked up by Baskin, thrown over to Bookout for out number 3. So 2 ground outs to short, and a strikeout will be a quick bottom of the 4th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back with the top of the 5th right after this.
All right, everybody, it's time for the bottom of the 4th Bloodhorn Lumber musical chairs. Uh-oh, we got a close one. Who wins? Congratulations. Great musical chairs.
Let's go, Mets! Get the heat!
Now back to the Fremont Moo, number 30, Austin Bassett.
Austin Baskin up to bat. Is that first pitch going to hit in there for ball number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning? The Fremont Moo leads it 13-0 as that one's going to be popped up into the infield. McCafferty finding it and bringing it down for out number 1. So that pop out to short will bring up Zach Samayoa, the left fielder, wearing number 26. He is the beer batter of the game. We have a lot of fun here at Cowboy Field. If you haven't been out, I would suggest it. Strongly suggest it, in fact. Here's the pitch from Winter, as that's going to miss for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strike, with 1 out and nobody on base. Samayoa so far today has doubled and singled and also popped out to second. So that one's going to be hit into left field for another hit for Samayoa. as he stands in on first. That'll give us some time to say thank you to Smith Beverages and Les Schwab Tires, supporters of the Gem City Bison. As Nick Balk will step in, the designated hitter from Skyline College. Here's the pitch. That'll be in there for strike one. No balls, one strike to Balk, who's singled, got hit by a pitch, struck out, also has a stolen base in there somewhere. That one's going to be lined into left field. Bradley finding it and bringing it down for a quick out, number 2. So this inning going by pretty quick, at least so far. I probably shouldn't have said that. That'll probably jinx it. But that line out to 7th will bring up Evan Rowe, the right fielder, wearing number 1. He stands in with 2 outs and a runner on first for the Moo. 2 outs for Rowe. Here's the pitch from Winter, as that'll miss barely outside the strike zone for ball number 1. Rowe reached on an error from first base earlier today, popped out to first base, and singled. He also has 2 runs himself, as that ball's going to be in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count, with 2 outs and a runner on first. There's the pitch, and that'll be fouled towards the right for a premier bone and joint foul ball. 1-2 is the count, with Winter standing on the mound. He comes set, looking, and fires that in there. That'll miss down low and out for ball 2, mainly just low, actually. I think that would have been a strike if it had just been a bit higher. So Balk stands in with an even count at 2-2. That one's going to be in there for strike 3 and out number 3. So we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning from the Gem City Bison after a quick 3 outs. We'll be back right after this.
Gem City Bison, number 39, Randy Stoltz.
Randy Stoltz will step in for the Gem City Bison here in the bottom of the the bottom of the 5th inning. My software is messing up, man. I don't know why, but Stoltz steps in. Last night he was 0 for 2 as the first 2 pitches come across for a strike and a ball respectively to even things up at 1-1. I want to say thank you to Blowdorn Lumber Company and Ivinson Memorial Hospital for being supporters of the Gem City Bison. That one's going to be hit into center field. Scansey chasing it, hops up and makes the grab for out number 1.
The catcher, number 10, Luke Bannister.
So after that line out, that'll bring up the catcher, Luke Bannister from Temple Community College. He steps in with 1 out and nobody on base. He steps in, and that pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Ibarra still on the mound for the Moo. Here's the 1-0 to Bannister. That's going to be lined into right field for a hit. Bannister will make it to first off of the 3rd hit of the day for the Bison, as that will bring up Quinn McCafferty, the shortstop, wearing number 9 from Bighorn, Wyoming, and Western Nebraska Community College. Takes a couple of practice hits outside of the batter's box and steps back in. Ibarra on the mound, Bannister on first base as McCafferty steps in. Ibarra comes set on the mound, looks him up and down, and fires the first pitch. That's going to be hit, grounded to Baskin, picked up, fired to book out on first, but Bannister will advance to second. So 2 outs and a runner on second. After that 6-3 put out for the second out, we'll bring up Justice Panton, the right fielder, wearing number 6. He steps in, 2 outs, runner on second. Going to be facing the opposite Hamness in the lefty Ibarra. Ibarra standing with his arms up, now comes set at the waist. Looks back at second, kicks and deals it home. That one's going to be shot into left field, but that one will be caught for out number 3 by Samayoa. So the score remains the same, 13-0 as we head to the top of the 6th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network, 13-0. We'll be back right after this.
All right, everybody, it's that time again for Vladdy's dance-off. Everybody get on their feet for Vladdy and Conrad. Fremont Moo, number 7, Zane.
Back to the top of the order for the Fremont Moo. That pitch could have missed for ball number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. 13-0 still the score. The Fremont Moo up over the Gem City Bison. Here's the pitch from Winter. That one's going to be rocketed into left field. That one's deep, and there's no doubt about that one. That one's going to be gone. A solo home run from Zach Scansey to start things off here in the top of the 6th. So after going 1 for 4 last night, he is now 3 for 5, and it's only the top of the 6th inning. So that'll bring us to Cannon Dodge stepping in. That first pitch going to be in there for strike number 1. Haven't even had time to say thank you to a couple of people. Marky's Meat Market and Montez the Mudman for being avid supporters of the Gem City Bison. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch from Winter. That one's going to be rocketed into left center field. Bradley will bring that down for out number 1. That was an excellent piece of hitting from Dodge, but Bradley just got to it in time. So that will put the first out on the board for the Moo, in this inning. And that'll bring up Nico Aspilcueta, the freshman from St. Mary's, originally from Sherman Oaks, California. Here's the first pitch from Winter, and that'll miss outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 14-0, the Fremont Moo lead it as Winter will send that across, and that'll be swung on for strike 1. Aspilcueta has singled 3 times and flown out to center once, so he's 3 for 4 so far today. Here's the 1-1, and that'll hit on the inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. To Aspilcueta last night went 3 for 5 with 4 runs, 3 RBIs, and 1 strikeout. As the 2-1 comes across for ball 3. 3-1 is now the count here in the top of the 6th with 1 out and nobody on base. 1 more run coming across in this inning off of the absolute bomb from Scansey to start things off. That one will reach inside for ball 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out in this ball game. Winter on the mound. Aspilcueta at the plate, and there's the pitch, and that'll be lined straight up the middle for another hit. And that will send him to first base off of another single, his 4th single of the day, as that'll bring up number 4, Bentley Bookout. So as Aspilcueta stands in at first, 1 out will be on the board for Bookout. That first one in there for strike 1 on the outside edge, about chest high for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Winter on the mound comes set, and that one will be fired into right center field. That one will also be gone. So 2 home runs this half inning. This time it's a 2-run homer, and that'll add 2 to the tally of 14, making it 16-0. The Fremont Moo over the Gem City Bison. 16 runs off of 19 hits, no errors for the Moo, as that will bring up Ian Graff. Winter's still on the mound. Here's the pitch, and that will be in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Graff, the freshman from Dixie State. Here's the 0-1, and that'll miss for ball 1. Graff so far today has singled twice, struck out, and flown out to center field. He's 2 for 4 on the day so far. The 1-1 will be fouled backwards for Premier Bone and Joint. Foul ball for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out with nobody on base after that two-run shot from Bookout. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to be chopped foul towards the left. Count will remain the same, but that will be another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Winter on the mound, kicks and delivers, and that'll miss out to even things up at 2-2. Last night, Graff was 2 for 4 with 3 runs, 1 RBI, and 1 walk. Here's the 2-2. That'll be swung on deep into right center field, and that one will also be gone. No, it looks like it might have. Looks like it might have bounced, and actually they're going to call that a ground rule double, I think. As he stands in on second with 1 out. So assistant coach John Grigg will come out to talk with Winter and take the ball from him. So another pitching change in this game for the Gem City Bison. We'll have more on it when we come back. The final line for Winter. Once again, another pitching change. It'll be 16-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back right after this.
Now pitching for your Gem City Bison, Ty Volmer.
Just my boy and me, with a Happy Meal in his booster seat, knowing that he couldn't have the toy till his nuggets were gone.
Marching band.
They're the hot dogs. Exactly what you want. Big bubbles.
Yeah, I know, but there's a separate app for the computer. Fix that, we can play something and fade it out. But it's just for
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand and reach
well for what it's designed to do, but
both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, mamacito, cito, cito, anytime. And oh my, those eyes.
Ty Volmer will step in on the mound for the Gem City Bison. 16-0 is the score as Volmer comes set, getting ready for his first pitch. That one will be swung on, popped up into right field as Panton will call for it and bring it down for out number 2.
Are we thirsty?
As Ian Graff stands in on second off of the ground rule double, and Baskin will get that pop out to right field. So 2 outs on the board, and Samayoa will come up to bat for the Moo. Volmer will fire that in there. It'll be grounded, picked up by Stoltz, and flung over to Pezzanella on first for out number 3. You know, we might get to the final line for Winter at some point, but we will head to the bottom of the the top of the 7th here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back right after this.
For a hot dog.
Hey, what does everyone want? Right in her Bring me a hot dog when you're coming back. Add one more make roll.
Now
Derek Wood from George Mason will step up to bat now for the Gem City Bison here in the bottom of the 6th. They trail at 16-0 and look to push a couple of runs across the board here in the bottom of this 6th. That first pitch going to come across for ball number 1. Marco Ibarra still on the mound for the Fremont Moo, going 6 innings so far, as that one's going to be grounded on the first base line for a premier bone and joint foul ball. So that'll move the count to 1-1. Want to thank Liggett Transport and Crane and Gardner's Pest Control for being supporters of the Gem City Bison. Here's the 1-1 from Ibarra, as that will be swung on and fouled for another premier bone and joint foul ball for strike 2. Wood from Reedley, California last night was 0 for 2 so far today, has grounded out to second and flown out to right. So he's also 0 for 2 today so far. Here's the 1-2, and that one will be chopped and picked up by Dodge, thrown over to Bookout at first in time for out number 1. So another ground out to second for Wood will bring up Tyler Bradley in the number 2 hole. So we started things off at the top of the lineup. Now we're to the number 2 with Bradley, the left fielder today for the Bison. He stands with Ibarra still on the mound. One out with nobody on base. Here's the pitch from Ibarra, and that one will miss for ball 1. One ball, no strikes will turn to 1 ball and 1 strike with that premier bone and joint foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's going to be lined into right field. Bradley will have his first hit of the day. The 4th hit for the Bison, as that'll bring up Nico Pezzanella, with Bradley standing on first and 1 out on the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pezzanella from Northern State, he will take a practice hack outside and step in.
down there.
1 out, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Ibarra, and that one will miss outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. For Pezzanella and the Bison. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be in there for strike 1 on the upstairs outside corner. Last night, Pezzanella was 0 for 2, and so far today is 1 for 2. He doubled back in the first inning and got stranded on second and then struck out. The runner's going to go. Bradley will be down and in there safe for the successful stolen bag. So Bradley will stand in at second now as the count will move to 2-1 after that ball from Ibarra. And the throwdown from Graff not in time. So Pezzanella stands back in for the 2-1 pitch, coming from Ibarra momentarily. Here it is, and that's going to miss down low for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The runner on second now for the Bison and Pezzanella. Pezzanella playing first base today, bouncing around between catcher, first base, and DH on any given day. Played first base yesterday and today. Here's the 3-1, and that's going to be hit on into left field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Bradley will round third, come home to score, so that RBI single will put 1 run on the board for the Gem City Bison. 16-1 the score now, as Bradley came around to score from second. So that RBI single from Pezzanella will bring up Tyler Godfrey. Pinch hitting as in the DH spot for Mitchell Tolk. So Godfrey wearing number 7. Here's the pitch from Ibarra, and that one's going to be lined in. That'll get in fair. Pezzanella trying his hardest to come around. He's going to be in there safe. And Godfrey with the pinch hit triple to start things off for him today. As that will bring up Keegan Schultz, the third baseman, after Pezzanella came across to score from first. So the Texas Cowboy will step in. 16-2 the score now. With Ibarra still on the mound. Here's the first pitch of this at-bat, and that's going to miss inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The runner on third, 2 runs pushed across in this bottom of the 6th inning. There's the 1-0, and that's going to be fouled back for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Schultz last night was 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. There's the pitch. That's going to be in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Schultz so far today has struck out looking and then grounded out to shortstop. So he's 0 for 2, looking to put 1 in the first column. Here's the 1-2 from Ibarra. And that'll be swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 2. So that strikeout will bring up Randy Stoltz with 2 outs on the board and a runner on third. Stoltz playing second base today for the Bison. Last night he was 0 for 2. Ibarra fires that in there. That's going to be hit into right field. Rowe, it'll not get to it in time. It'll drop right in front of him, so another run comes across to score on another hit from the Bison. So with 2 outs, Stoltz will stand in at first off of that RBI single, and Luke Bannister will be replaced by Caleb Salgado. As they're starting to put in a couple of substitutions to get some more playing time in for these players. So Salgado will step in. And that one will be chopped and get through for another hit. 8 hits. Salgado stands in on first and Stoltz on second. As Quinn McCafferty, the shortstop, will step back up with Ibarra still on the mound for the Moo. It seems like somebody may be up in their bullpen. 2 outs with runners on first and second for the Bison. Ibarra comes set. As he kind of half steps off, but steps right back on. Here's the first pitch, and that'll miss. Down and out for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Now to McCafferty. McCafferty so far today flew out to left field and grounded out to shortstop. For an 0-2 tally so far, as that one's going to be hit straight to shortstop for out number 3, but 3 runs pushed across for the Gem City Bison. The Fremont Moo still lead it, but it's 16-3 now as we head to the top of the 7th here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back right after this. Ty Volmer still on the mound for your Gem City Bison. They trail at 16-3 after 3 runs were pushed across. In the bottom of the 6th inning, we head to the top of the 7th with Nick Balk standing in, the designated hitter. Is that first pitch going to miss upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the count. Volmer on the mound for the Bison. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for strike 1 to even things up at 1-1. Last night, Nick Balk did not play, but today he struck out. He's got hit by a pitch. He's got a single. He lined out to left field, and he's got 2 runs as well as a stolen base. Quite a line for him, as that one's going to be fouled off towards the right for a premier bone and joint foul ball, and that'll move the count to 1-2. This top of the 7th brought to you by Cook & Associates PC and Kia of Cheyenne. Now that things have kind of slowed down here, maybe 1-2 pitch going to be swung on and lined into center field as Balk will have another single on the day. So he'll stand in at first with no outs, and that'll bring up Evan Rowe. Ty Volmer coming in relief for Chamberlain, Provenzano, and Winter. Winter went 2 innings with 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 strikeout on 12 batters faced. So now Evan Rowe will step in, and there's the pitch right in there for strike 1, a little bit of a breaking ball. No balls, 1 strike with Balk on first. Pickoff attempt over to first, not successful as Balk will get back. 0-1 is the count. Here's the 0-1 as that one will miss for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Volmer comes set. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be lined straight up the middle once again for another hit. So 2 singles in a row will bring up Scansey with a runner on first and second.
Number 7, Zane Scansey.
So Scansey will step in. For the Moo, they lead it 16-3. Here in the top of the 7th, that one's going to be lined into left field. That'll drop before Bradley, but Bradley will get it in and prevent Balk from heading home. So Balk will be in third, Rowe at second, and Scansey at first. As Cannon Dodge will step up with the bases loaded and no outs on the board. Volmer, the last time he was out was actually a couple days ago versus this Fremont team. 3.2 innings pitched with 5 hits, 7 runs, 2 of them earned with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. That was his line versus this Moo team. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs with runners on each of the bases. As that pitch will be in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now to Scansey, 4 for 6 on the day with 3 runs and 4 RBIs on 1 strikeout. Is that pitch going to be in there for strike number 2? 1-2 is the count for Dodge, batting .333 on the season with 1 homer and 11 RBIs. That homer coming earlier on in this game, as that one will be fouled off towards the back. For a premier bone and joint foul ball, the count will remain the same at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Volmer comes set and fires the pitch. That's going to be hit and fouled off in right field foul territory for another premier bone and joint foul ball. Volmer coming set. He'll fire that pitch in there. That'll be upstairs to even things up at 2-2. So far today, Scansey's flown out to left, tripled, struck out, singled, homered, and then singled once again. And here we are in the... That's going to be hit up right up the middle, so another run will come in to score. 17 runs off of 23 hits. 17-3 is the score, as the bases will remain loaded, as Balk will practically walk in. Rowe will move to third, Scansey to second, and Dodge to first. So 4 straight singles will bring up Nico Azpilicueta, as that one's going to be fired right to second, and they'll get it to McCafferty on second for the first out, and McCafferty will get it over to Pezzanella on first for the double play. The 4-6-3 double play will put 2 outs on the board, and that'll get Dodge and Azpilicueta out. Scansey will advance to third, and Rowe will come in home 18-3 off of 24 hits for the Moo, as that one will miss inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. For the Fremont Moo, that one is going to hit in there for strike 1 to even things up at 1-1. So Scansey, the only runner, standing in at third. And Vollmer sending in the 1-1, and that one's going to be chopped foul towards the right side for strike number 2 off that Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With a runner on third for the Moo. Vollmer on the mound, peers in and comes set at the belly and fires it in there. That's going to miss up high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To make things even, also add in 2 outs, and you got 2s all across the board. Here's the 2-2, and that'll miss up high to move it to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now to Bookout, who's 3 for 4 on the day with 1 run, 5 RBIs, and 1 walk. Here's the 3-2, and that's going to miss for ball 4. He'll throw his bat towards the Moo dugout and take his base. So they'll have runners on the corners now as Bookout stands in at first and Scansey at third, with Ian Graff stepping up to bat, the freshman from Dixie State. Two outs with the runner on third for Graff. Last night was 2 for 4 with 3 of the runs. Here's the pitch from Vollmer, and that's right in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. To Graff, who's 3 for 5 today with 2 RBIs and 1 strikeout. And there's the pitch that'll miss down low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Also forgot to mention the defensive changes that have taken place. Salgado back behind the plate, in for Luke Bannisters. That one's going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. As well as Salgado, we also don't have a defensive substitution, but Tyler Godfrey came in for Mitchell Tolk in the designated hitter spot. Vollmer nods his head up and down. Comes set, takes a deep breath, and fires that in there. The swing's going to be held, and that'll miss for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with 2 runners on the base paths. 1 on first, and 1 on third. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to be swung on, and that'll barely miss the glove of McCafferty. Another run will come in, 19-3 off of 25 hits. As Bookout will move to second, and Scansey will come in to score. Graff, obviously, getting that single. So Baskin will step in as the rain starts to come down here in Laramie. 1 ball, no strikes is the count with runners on first and second now, 19-3. Here's the pitch, and that's going to come in there for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs with runners on first and second. That pitch going to be swung on deep in the left field, and Bradley is going to chase it as well as Wood. And that will be the 3rd out, and that will bring us to the bottom of the 7th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back right after this.
Some free hot dogs.
I'll text you tomorrow. See how that is. You tell me if she's
Now to bat for your Gem City Bison, number 6, Justice Hinton.
Justice Panton will step up to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the rain is starting to come down here in Laramie. That first pitch going to come across for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. As Panton steps into bat. The second pitch going to come across for, I do believe, strike 1. So Panton so far today is 0 for 2. As a swing and a miss will move it to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count, as that'll miss outside for ball 2. So far today, Panton has flown out to left twice, and this time it'll get through for a base hit, and that'll put him on first. And that will bring us back to the top of the order, number 15, Derek Wood. So Panton will get a base knock, and he'll stand in at first. as Wood will step in the batter's box. No outs with the runner on first for Wood. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for strike one on the outside edge of the strike zone. 0-1 is the count as Wood will step back in. Here's the pitch, and that'll miss down low for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Wood. So far, 0 for 3 today, as that one will be swung on and chopped foul, a premier bone and joint foul ball. This bottom of the 7th inning brought to you by Advanced Comfort Solutions and Hilton Hotel Investment Services. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to miss for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wood, so far today, has grounded out to second twice and flown out to right. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be lined into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And Panton will come around to third, and so the Bison will have runners on the corners, as Justin Williamson will be coming in for Tyler Bradley, wearing number 16. This first pitch going to come across, and that's going to be grounded and barely foul for strike one. No balls, 1 strike for Williamson. With Panton on third and Wood on first. Here's the 0-1, as that pitch will come in there for strike 2. New pitcher, by the way, for the Moo, Cannon Dodge now comes in to pitch. The final line for Ibarra was 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 runs, as that pitch is going to come across, as Wood will advance to second on the stolen base. He also had 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 strikeouts, and 26 batters faced. So that ball will miss down low for ball 1. 1-2 will not move to anything, as that one will be chopped foul. So Dodge will climb up the mound once again. Here's the 1-2 from Dodge, and that'll be swung on, and Williamson will have a base hit. Panton will come in to score, as will Wood, so 2 more to add to the tally. 5 runs off of 11 hits. It's Williamson with the RBI single. We'll have 2 runners come in and score. So that will bring up Nico Pezzanello, the first baseman for the Bison. (19-5) is the score, with a runner on first now, with no outs on the board. Here's the pitch, and that's going to reach in there for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes is the count. 19-5 is the score here in the bottom of the 7th. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pezzanella, who's 2 for 3 on the day so far, with 1 run, 1 RBI, and 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on and missed for strike 2. 1-2 is the count, with a runner on first and no outs on the board. So far, Pezzanella has doubled. Today he's singled and came around to score, and then he also struck out. 1-2 is the count, and that'll be grounded straight to Baskin at short. He'll get it to Dodge at first. Excuse me, not Dodge. But it will be a double play to put 2 outs on the board, and that'll get the runners, so the bases will be cleared off the 4-6-3 double play. So now Tyler Godfrey will step in for the Gem City Bison. That first pitch going to miss for ball number 1. That pitch is going to come across for ball number 2. That'll be outside. 2-0 is the count with 2 outs and nobody on base. Here's the pitch from Dodge, and that'll be swung on and fouled off towards the left for a premier bone and joint foul ball. That'll make the 2-1. Not quite sure on who the second baseman is quite yet. We will get a name for you when we can. 2-1 is the pitch, and that's going to be swung on to even things up at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Godfrey. As that one will miss outside for ball 3. 3-2. Here's the pitch from Dodge, and that'll be swung on and chopped foul for another premier bone and joint foul ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes for a full count with 2 outs and a runner nowhere to be seen. Here's the 3-2, and that'll be lined up the middle. Godfrey will have another hit after his triple in the last inning. And so that will bring up the Texas Cowboy, Keegan Schultz, with Godfrey standing on first. So Schultz is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. 2 outs with the runner on first. That one's going to be swung on, lined into right center field. Godfrey will round second and come into third with Schultz coming into second. So Godfrey at third and Schultz at second off of that double. So runners on second and third now for Randy Stoltz, wearing number 25 for the Bison today. 19-5, the Bison trail it with runners in scoring position. Stoltz will line that one. That'll get down fair, but they're going to call that foul. It looked like it bounced in fair. And so that's going to push across. 2 more runs off of that RBI double from Stoltz. $17 runs off of 14 hits. Is that pitch going to come across for ball 1? 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs with a runner standing in on second. Here's the pitch, and that's going to miss outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on high into left center field as Scansey will come around, corral it, and bring it down for out number 3. 19-7 is the score. We head to the top of the 8th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network right after this. Conrad Quiche steps up, well, doesn't step up, steps onto the mound for the Gem City Bison here in the top of the 8th inning. As that first pitch is going to be in there for strike number 1. Quiche coming from Bemidji State. So that one's going to be swung on and into left field. So Samioa will step on to first and be the runner at first.
Now at the bat from Fremont Moo, number 15, the DH, Nick Balk.
So that'll bring up the designated hitter, Nick Balk. So Balk steps in with the runner at first. The final line for Ty Volmer is going to be 1.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned on 11 batters faced. And so Quiche will step in for the Bison. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to reach in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes with a runner on first for Quiche. So far, he's 0 for 1 with a 41.72 ERA. As that one's going to be swung on and chomped foul towards the left side for a premier bone and joint foul ball. He also has made 6 appearances, has 3.2 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 10 hits. So the 0-2 pitch is upcoming. Here it is, and that's going to miss up high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's top of the 8th inning, brought to you by Pepsi Wyoming Beverages and Gary Crum, proud supporters of the Gem City Bison. Here's the 1-2 from Quiche. So that one's going to be fired into center field. Wood chasing it and brings it down for out number 1. That fly out to center field. We'll put 1 out on the board, keep the runner at first, and bring up the bottom of the order, Evan Rowe.
Number 1, Evan Rowe.
So Rowe will step in. The runner on first and 1 out on the board. Righty facing the righty, Quiche on the mound. Here's the pitch, and that'll miss down low in the dirt for ball number 1. Rowe so far today is 2 for 5 with 3 runs and 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be swung on into center field once again. Another fly out to center field will put 2 outs on the board and bring up Zach Scansey.
Number 7, Zane Scansey.
Not Zach, Zane Scansey. As he steps in with a runner on first and 2 outs on the board. Two outs on the board. So that pitch will come on in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs with a runner on first. Scansey is 4 for 6 with 4 runs, 4 RBIs, and 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch. That'll miss down low for ball number 1. 1-1 is the count as he steps back in the box. Righty versus righty once again. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on into right field. Panton tracking it and brings it down for out number 3. So 19-7, we will head to the bottom of the 8th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. We'll be back right after this.
for your Gem City Bison, the shortstop, number 9, Quinn.
Quinn McCafferty up to bat for your Gem City Bison. They trail it 19-7 here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that first pitch will come across for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Dodge, as that's going to be fouled back and to the right for strike 2, and that Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Mr. Jim's Pizza and Papa Murphy's are proud supporters of the Gem City Bison. Make sure to visit all of our businesses and show some patronage to them, as that one's going to be popped out into shallow right field. The center fielder going to come in and grab that. So that'll put 1 out on the board, and that'll bring up the right fielder, number 6, Justice Panton from North Carolina A&T. So Panton will step in the left-handed box as he faces the righty on the mound. Here's the pitch from Dodge, and that first pitch will be swung on and missed for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out for Panton. 1 for 3 on the day with a run. That's his line as the sun begins to peek out a little bit. Coming from the left side, as that pitch will miss for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, as that pitch will hit in there for strike 2. Panton has flown out to left field twice and has singled and came around to score on that single. The count moved to 2-2 for Panton. Last night he was 1 for 4 with 3 runs. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on towards the left for another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. So the count will remain the same. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on base. Here's the pitch, as that one's going to be hit far and deep into right center territory, and that's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. So that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Derek Wood with a runner standing in on second. With 1 out on the board. Lefty going to face a lefty on the mound. Once again. 1 out, runner on second. Here's the pitch, and that'll miss way outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Wood, who was 1 for 4 today with a run. He's grounded out to second a couple of times. Here's the pitch, and that'll hit in there for strike 1. He's also singled. He has a stolen base. He also came in to score, and he's flown out to right field. Here's the 1-1, and that's going to be swung on and fouled off towards the left for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. Wood steps in. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to be hit, lined into right field, and Panton will start his run. He gets the go-ahead to go home for another run to be scored. 19-8, they have officially cut the lead in half with Wood standing in on first off of that RBI single, and that'll bring up Justin Williamson, the left fielder, for the Bison. Coming in, only has 1 at-bat so far. In that one, he's singled. I think he got caught up in a double play. That one's going to be fouled off for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball, and strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Wood takes his lead off of first. Dodge will send it, and that'll be hit far and deep into left center territory. Scansey trying to make the catch, but he will not be able to, and Wood will come across, and Williamson will be in at third. So an RBI triple for Williamson will put one more run across the board and bring up Pezzanella. 19-9, now just down 10 here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Pezzanella steps into bat. Stands in with one out and a runner on third. As Dodge steps back in. Here's the pitch, and that'll hit right in there for strike one. Pezzanella 2 for 4 with 1 run, 1 RBI, and 1 strikeout so far in today's game. Looking to make it 3 for 5. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out with a runner on third for Pezzanella from Northern State. He's doubled once, singled today, got grounded into a 4-6-3 double play and struck out, as well as he'll ground that to the first baseman, and another run will come in to score 19-10 with 1 out on the board. Now after Pezzanella gets that sacrifice grounder to the first baseman. So that'll bring up Tyler Godfrey. With 2 outs and nobody on base now, they trail at 19-10 in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on and missed for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out with nobody on base for Godfrey, who today is 2 for 2 with 2 runs and 1 RBI. That one's going to be hit down the first base line, and it'll be picked up by the pitcher, and Godfrey will be tagged as he tries to get out of the way for out number 3. We head to the top of the 9th inning here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network, 19-10. The Fremont Moo lead it. We'll be back right after this. Conrad Kish looks to finish things out for the Gem City Bison as they trail at 19-10 here in the top of the 9th. Hopefully gonna keep the Moo at 19 as the other team's pitcher, Cannon Dodge, will step up to bat. I do believe that's Dodge, at least this is his spot, you know, coming in, moving from second to pitcher as that first pitch comes across for strike number 1. That ball's going to come across up top for ball 1. So Dodge 3 for 5 today with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout as he faces a 1-1 count from Kish. Here's the pitch, and that'll be swung on, popped up into right field, being chased by Stoltz, Wood, and Panton. Stoltz will grab it for out number 1. So that pop out to second base will bring up Nico Aspilcueta. the third baseman, number 25. He steps in with nobody on base and 1 out on the board in the top of the final frame. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Kish looks inside and comes set at the belt. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to hit for strike 2. Azpilicueta 4 for 5 today with 4 runs, excuse me. And here's the 0-2. That's going to miss for ball number 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That'll be swung on foul towards the right for Premier Bone and Joint. Foul ball. We'd like to thank Laramie Care Center and Nova Health Community Care Partners, LLC, for being proud supporters of the Gem City Bison. Here's the 1-2 from Quiche, and that's going to be fired into right field. Panton following it back, and that's going to hit the wall. The throw back in will not be in time to stop him from second, so Azpilicueta will come into second base off of that double, and that'll bring up Bentley Bookout. Wearing number 4, the first baseman. 1 out with a runner on second for Bookout. As Kish comes set on the mound, and that'll miss up top for ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out to Bookout. 3 for 4 with 1 run, 5 RBIs, and 1 walk. And that'll hit in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. With Kish on the mound, that one will miss outside for ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Bookout has walked, singled, doubled, reached on an error, homered, and singled once again. 2-1 is the count. Here's the pitch, and that'll miss outside for 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As he steps back onto the mound, he comes set at the waist and fires it in. And that'll miss for ball 4. Bookout honestly thought it was going to be strike 2, but that'll send him to first base off of that walk, and that'll bring up Ian Graff, the catcher, number 23, with 1 out and runners on second and third. He steps in, the righty versus righty. There's the pitch, and that'll be chopped foul for the Premier Bone and Joint foul ball for an 0-1 count. No balls and 1 strike to Graff, who today is 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs and 1 strikeout. Kish comes set and fires that in. That'll miss upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, with 1 out and runners on first and second. Here's the pitch, and that'll reach in the zone for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count to Graff. He's singled 3 times, struck out once, and flown out to center field. Also has a ground rule double in there. Here's 1-2. As that's going to be in there for strike 3. So that'll put 2 outs on the board, keep the runners at second and third. And that'll bring up Austin Baskin, the shortstop for the Moo. He steps in with 2 outs on the board and 2 runners on base. Here's the pitch. That'll miss up for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Kish will climb back up the hill. Comes set, looking in, and fires that in there for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Baskin, who today is 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts. Those 2 strikeouts coming in the first part, but then he's grounded to short, popped out to short, popped out to right field, and flown out to center field since then. So that pitch will miss for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. As the pitch comes across, and that'll be in there for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike is the count, 2 outs with a runner on first and second. Kish on the mound. Comes set, and that'll be foul backwards for strike 2 and a premier bone and joint foul ball. 3-2 is the count to make it full here in the top of the 9th. The Moo lead at 19-10. Kish comes set, kicks and fires it in there. That's going to be lined into left field, as he will finally get a hit. He celebrates his way to first base as the bases will move to loaded with 2 outs, and Zach Samayoa will come in to bat. The left fielder for the Moo. Here's the first pitch, and that'll be swung on for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs with runners on first, second, and third. Kish comes set and fires it in there. That'll be foul backwards for a premier bone and joint foul ball for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with runners on each of the bases. Kish peering in, getting signs from Salgado. Now comes set. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be lined into center field. Score will move from 19-10 to 20-10. As Azpilcueta will come in to score. Baskin will advance to second and Boak out to third, and Nick Balk, the designated hitter, will come up to bat with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The Fremont Moo leading by 10. That one's going to be fouled off towards the right for strike 1 and a premier bone and joint foul ball. Balk is 2 for 5 with 3 runs and 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be swung on, chopped, and Stoltz, will pick it up, fling it over to Pezzanella on first for out number 3. 20-10 is the score as we head to the final inning, the final half inning as we head to break here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network.
What? Ours. I'm just making a room list right
Justin Ross going to come in and pinch hit for Keegan Schultz, wearing number 13, and would be going into third base, I would presume, if we happen to go into extra innings. Although I hate to say this, but I don't think that's going to happen. 1 ball, no strikes is the count. Now for Ross, as that pitch is going to miss for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 20-10 is the score. The Fremont Moo lead it over the Gem City Bison. That ball will come across for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes as Ross stands in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be held for ball 4. Austin Baskin coming in to pitch for the Moo.
Now for Gem City Bison, number 17, Jack Jones.
As Jack Jones will come in to pinch hit for Randy Stoltz. That one's going to be fired and popped up into left center field. The left fielder, Samayoa, will come in to grab that. So Ross will still be on first, and one out will be on the board after that fly out to left field from Jones, as Caleb Salgado will step in. The final line for Cannon Dodge: 2 innings pitched, 9 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned on 14 batters faced. Here's the first pitch, and that'll be in there for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out with a runner on first for Salgado, that runner being Justin Ross. Coming in to pinch hit for Keegan Schultz. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to be swung on into right field. That's going to get down. Ross rounding second, as well as Salgado rounding first. The ball will not be in time to second, so we'll have runners on second and third. So Calvin Webb coming in now to pinch hit for Quinn McCafferty. So Webb stepping in now with runners on second and third, with 1 out on the board. That's going to be fouled off towards the right for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out with runners on second and third now for Webb. Technically being the shortstop, but 0-1, as that's going to miss upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to even things up. Salgado getting a double down the right field line to set everybody up at second and third, as that one will be another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count, with 1 out and 2 runners on base. Here's the pitch from Baskin, and that's going to be swung on into left field. Ross will come in to score, as well as Salgado. 20-12 is the score, as Webb will stand in after his single. So Cooper Hack coming in now, stepping in for Justice Panton. So Hack stands in with 1 out and a runner on first. Runner's going to go ahead and go, and he'll be in there safe. So 1 out on the board, a runner at second now as Webb took that bag. As Baskin is still on the mound, 1-0 pitch. Going to be in there for a 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As Baskin looks between second and home. Kicks and fires. in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 out, excuse me. Here in the bottom of the 9th, the Fremont Moo lead at 20-12 over the Gem City Bison. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to be swung on and grounded, picked up by Aspilcueta, who gets it over to book out on first for the 5-3 putout.
Now to bat for your Gem City Bison, number 15.
So that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Derek Wood now getting up to bat. As Cooper Hack put the second out on the board. And Calvin Webb advanced to third. So Wood gets another chance at it. Here's the pitch. And that'll miss for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Wood, who's 2 for 5 on the day with 2 runs and 1 RBI. He stands in, the lefty facing the righty. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be swung on, fouled off towards the left for strike 1 and another Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Baskin, and that's going to miss low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 is the count as he steps in. Here's the 2-1, and that'll be fouled once again for a Premier Bone and Joint foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to make things even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2, and that'll miss down low and inside for ball 3 to make the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board with a runner at third and Derek Wood up to bat. Baskin comes set, kicks and delivers, and that'll be grounded to second base, picked up, and it'll beat him out. So Calvin Webb will come in to score as the speed from Wood is shown off. As the throw from second couldn't get to first in time. So Wood will reach onto first, and Webb will have another run come across. That is 3 this inning, and they just trail it by 7 now. That'll bring up Justin Williamson, the left fielder, and that one will be grounded to short, and it'll be over to first for out number 3. And that will be the final score. 20-13 is the final. The Fremont Moo over the Gem City Bison. We're going to take a quick break here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. Come back and fill you in on what's happening next week and maybe give you the final lines of a couple of players. But once again, final score 20-13. The Fremont Moo win over the Gem City Bison. We'll be back right after this. Back here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. 20-13, the final score between the Fremont Moo and the Gem City Bison. The Bison drop this series 2-1 in total. Let's take a look at the final line scores and everything like that before we send you home and let you know what's going on this week. Taking a look at the Gem City Bison, they didn't score until the 6th inning when they pushed 3 runs across off of 5 hits in that inning, and then the next inning they came across with 4 off of 6 hits. In the 8th, they came with 3 runs off of 2 hits, and in the 9th, they had 3 runs off of the same amount of hits. Looking at the Fremont Moo in the first inning, they got things started off a little bit slowly with 1 run off of 2 hits. In the second inning, they had 5 runs off of 6. In the third, they had 3 runs off of 2 hits. In the fifth, they had 4 runs off of 5 hits. In the 7th, they had 3 runs off of 4 hits. In the 7th, they had 3 runs off of 6 hits. In the 8th, they had no runs off of 1 hit. And in the 9th, they had 1 run off of 3 hits. Just going to look at the leading batters for each team. For the Fremont Moo, it's going to be kind of a tie between Nico Azpilcueta. He was 5 for 6 with 2 runs and 3 RBIs. Also with the same amount of hits was Samayoa with 5 runs. He was 5 for 7 with 2 runs, 1 RBI. Looking at the Bison, the leading hitters, it's going to be Derek Wood. He was 3 for 6 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Looking at pitching, Ryan Chamberlain went 1.1 innings with 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. TJ Provenzano followed him up with 2 innings with 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Mitch Winter followed him up with 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned, and 1 strikeout. Ty Volmer went for 2.2 innings, 6 hits with 3 runs, all of them earned, and 14 batters faced. And Conrad Kish finished it out with 1 inning, 3 hits allowed, 1 run. That 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout off of 7 batters faced. Looking at the Moo, Ibarra went 6 innings pitched with 8 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, with 4 strikeouts on 26 batters faced. Cannon Dodge had 2 innings pitched with 9 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned, off of 14 batters faced. And Austin Baskin had 1 inning and had 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk off of 7 batters faced. So looking at the final lines, the run total, obviously 20-13 in favor of the Moo. The hit total, the Moo had 29, the Bison had 20, and in errors, the Moo ended with none, and the Bison with 2. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. Got a day off tomorrow, and then we head up to Spearfish, South Dakota, to take on the Sasquatch for a 3-game set versus them. And then we head over to Nebraska, to Fremont, Nebraska, to be exact, to face this same Fremont Moo team for another 3-game set. We'll have all 6 of those games here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network, and make sure to stay tuned to our social media for some fun stuff and any updates as it may concern for any games happening. But once again, thank you to everybody watching. Final score 20-13. Thank you to all of our sponsors, everybody that make this thing possible. We want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Final score 20-13 here on the Gem City Bison Digital Network. From everyone here at the Gem City Bison, I'm Braden Byers saying so long, have a good night, and as always, feel the charge. Good night.